We'll begin tonight in London, where the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says the electoral body has concluded a policy on diaspora voting. Professor Yakubu stated this during a presentation at Chatham House in London on the topic Nigeria's 2023 elections, preparations and priorities for electoral integrity and inclusion. He expressed hope that the legal obstacles preventing foreign-based Nigerians from voting will be cleared eventually. He noted that the federal government had in 2017 put the number of Nigerians in the diaspora at 17 million, but more citizens have since left. The Inec chairman spoke on the commission's progress as they prepare for next month's general election.
With every election for the last 3 electoral cycles, we also make provision for the possibility of a presidential runoff in case it happens. If it happens, then we'll have no issues. And this year is no exception. Fortunately, the time frame has also been extended. The 4th alteration to the Constitution has extended it by 2 more weeks. So it's now 3 weeks instead of the 1 week we had before. We decided in one of the elections to change the configuration of the polling units by bringing the ballot papers closer to the ballot boxes. The voting cubicles, the ballot box close to the voting cubicles, in order to curtail the distance that they travel between the time they make their choice in the cubicles to the point they drop the ballot papers in the ballot boxes. We thought we were making some progress. But another election followed a few months later that year, off-season governorship elections. Then we learned that they were using their smartphones. So instead of exposing the ballot paper, all you need to do is to go in with a smartphone, snap the marked ballot paper, and then go and do whatever you wish to do later. We then banned the use of not only mobile phones, but even photographic devices in the voting cubicles.
Joining us now is Obo Effanga, the resident electoral commissioner at Edo State. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. You were at the Chatham House today with the Inec chairman, where he mentioned that irrespective of the challenges, Inec is enjoying some goodwill and support from within and outside Nigeria. Inec has also yet again reiterated its commitment to not postponing this election. It would seem that all is working quite well. Particularly when you consider the passage of the Electoral Act 1 year before election, the strengthening of the use of technology and the early funding. Would you agree that INEC has all it needs now for this particular one?
Thank you very much. Yes, INEC has what it needs to conduct the election, and INEC is working towards conducting the election on the agreed date for the elections. All that we've done so far have shown that we are working towards that. As you know, right now, we are still in the process of people collecting their voters' cards. That is ongoing. There's been a lot of training going on for the staff of the commission and even some of the people who would serve as ad hoc staff. We've started having what we call route trainings for the youth corps members who are likely to participate in the election as ad hoc staff. So there's quite a lot INEC is doing ahead of the election. And like the chairman said today at Chatham House, we are on course towards conducting a successful election next month.
The chairman also mentioned how impressive the PVC collection has been. Lagos recording some 600,000 in the ongoing exercise. Do you know what the figure is in Edo State, for instance?
Oh, yes. Edo is one of the states that I understand that Edo and Lagos, maybe other states too, are doing that. What we do on a daily basis, we publish the total number of persons who have collected their cards in the previous day. So the figures, when we started going to the wards, the figures rose to anywhere ranging between 17,000, sometimes a little over 20,000 in a day. So we have the cumulative figures, we put them together. And at the end of each week, we also do a comprehensive report that shows the total number of cards that are with us, how many have been collected, and we segment them. Like the chairman said today in Chatham House, the records we have of cards that have been collected or not collected come from as far back as the 2011 election to date. And the bulk of the cards that have not been collected that give us the huge number of uncollected cards are cards for as far back as 2011. And very few of those cards are still being collected because perhaps the people who own those cards may no longer be in the country. Some of them may no longer be in existence. They may be dead. Until we are able to sort that out, we will not know quite if those cards can still be collected. But for the more recent cards, there's a huge number of those persons, of those cards have been collected by the owners. And we see an increase as the days go by and as we go towards the end of the process and await the election. So I would say in the growth said, yes, there's been an improvement in the cards that have been collected in the last few weeks since we started going to the wards.
The chairman talked about a policy for diaspora voting. How optimistic is Inec about that being passed into law?
Well, the people who are in Inec are Nigerians. And like the chairman said, every Nigerian should be able to vote in the election, no matter where they stay. And that is that's the philosophy. That's the concept. It is not putting this into practice that is the issue. And this is totally outside the realm of the election management body. It has to be passed into law by the parliament. So what we would expect Nigerians to be doing is to engage their legislators to let them know why they should pass that law. And then INEC would now take the responsibility for the implementation.
Indeed. At 93.4 million, Nigeria has more registered voters than all of the West African countries put together. However, we are hoping that more people will come out to vote this time. Is that something INEC is also vigorously working on?
Well, yes, that's why we give room for people to register. That's why when it's registration time, we also encourage people to come and register.